Open defecation can't dey plenty for north. E plenty actually for north. Female students in particular in public secondary school, they know they get toilets. They know they even come school and say maybe if they dey period or something, they don't get toilet where they feel they use this thing. Since we can use this plastic bottle in making seats, we fit use am make toilets. Because females dey plenty pass the male student, so we can't reason say we fit use this thing, their bottle, make toilets specifically for the female. But based on, since we are already making it, you can't make avenue for the male also. But if you check the toilet now, you go see say now the female toilet is plenty pass the male toilet.
So you see sometimes female students, they will go together like 4. They will be 4 in number to go, and the 3 will give one cover so that the male student will not come and intrude when she is using herself. So we now realize how safe, health-wise, how they will cough. I don't know. So we now see, this is a problem to us. And some of the students will even go to our neighbors to ease themselves. And some, if they are on their period, you can't see them in the school. Some will take almost 10 days because we don't have toilet. This construction of plastic toilet, honestly, it will solve us 95% of our problem. Because now, even the female student now, you see them, they are happy.
So our goal be say every community, every secondary school get this kind of toilet. Maybe say at least you go combat open defecation for secondary school students. Ways to better things.
Imagine the corruption that are stolen from these children, that has prevented these children from having a very good educational system. Imagine the health risk for them to use bathrooms like this, especially the girls. This is exactly what we're clamoring against and clamoring about: corruption. We have to find a way to make corruption unattractive in Nigeria. Look at the schools our children are studying in. Look at the secondary school, public secondary school. Look at their classrooms. Nothing to write home about. Our politicians have stolen all the monies they need to build good schools for these children. They've stolen those monies. And they've sent their children to better schools in America, in the UK, in Canada, in France, in Switzerland. But they steal from the children. You steal from these children yesterday, and you don't want them to be bandits tomorrow? What else are you expecting? That you will steal from children who you're meant to educate? Educate them so that they can be good to the society. But you stole from them. Girls especially. Until we make corruption unattractive, until we make stealing unattractive, our politicians will continue to get away with it and our children will suffer. Look at their schools. Look at their schools. In the year 2025, look at the children's school. Not 20 years ago, 2025. When the likes of Yaya Bello can steal money that was meant to be used to build schools and hospitals, when the likes of Akpabio has alleged to have stolen 106 billion or 108 billion, and is under investigation until he became Senate president, or Dave Umahi, all these politicians, the monies that you're meant to build schools for children with, you stole them. What do you expect will happen to the nation? There will be insecurity. There will be banditry. Kids will be everywhere because they're not educated. And there's a reason why our politicians don't want to educate these children. Because they know that when they educate these children, they'll become wise and they won't help them steal elections. See how happy this educator is. See how happy it is. See how, because of this plastic and more toilets, these young people are building for them for free. Imagine if our politicians went above and beyond, built schools, quality schools of international standard. Imagine if our teachers are paid well. Imagine if our schools are looked after the way they should be looked after. Look at the school. Imagine that. Even with all these impediments, Nigerians are still one of the brightest people in the world. Now, imagine you give them all the infrastructure they need to go to school. The girls, when they're on their period, they don't come to school because there's no water to wash their bodies with. So they stay at home for 10 days. They miss out on things they should have learned for 10 days. And they have to go through this process every 28 days. So for every month they go to school, they miss 10 days. Why? This is serious. I mean, for the women in the comment section, if you can throw more light to this. Imagine you're constantly missing school for 10 days every month. You only go to school for 20 days a month, but you miss half of the month because of there's no water. This is how serious this thing is. Until you paint this picture in your head, you will not really fully realize how bad the situation is for these kids to go to school. You wouldn't appreciate the effort they put in to go to school because the government have not made it easy for them. They've not put the system in place. They've not put the infrastructure in place. They've stolen all this money. I did a previous video. I think you go check it out. 10 politicians alone, 10 politicians as alleged by EFCC and DSS, 10 politicians stole a total of 761 billion naira. Do you know what that would have done for Nigeria? Do you know how many quality schools that would have built? How many local government do we have in Nigeria, for example? If you build one primary school, one secondary school, and one middle school or whatever, in each of an hospital, in each of the local government within your state, and spread them across, you have built quality system. And people within certain villages will go to this one that is closest to them for the primary school and to the other one so that you spread it around. And before you know it, you would have built enough schools in the villages, in the rural area, in the cities for Nigerians to go to school and build right infrastructure. 761 billion stolen by 10 politicians. That's about the only ones they can see. Look at the situation of our children. Look at their schools. When you put them in situations like this, how do you want them to learn? So this is why I am hammering on this channel, why we must do well by our children to make sure that we turn out the votes in 2027. It is for the fight of the soul of our country. I'm doing my bit. I want you to do your bit. So share this content, subscribe, and be part of this conversation. Let us help other people get sensitized so that they will not steal elections for corrupt politicians. It is corruption that gave birth to something like this. For a country so wealthy, yet children are poor in the open. Yet look at where our girls go to pool when they have their menstrual period. Secondary school student. They have to go in fold so that three can protect the other one while the other one eases herself. Imagine. See how excited just to have a plastic and mud toilet. See how educated he was. If this guy gets more help from the government, if he's well paid, pay our teachers well so that they can teach our children well. Give them the right schools, give them the right infrastructure, give them the right classrooms. No, but you steal it. That's how Yahya Bello stole from Kogi State to pay for his children's tuition fee, even though they're still babies. Do you see how wicked our politicians are? Nigeria's politicians are so wicked and they're so criminal. They steal to spend in their graves. One country, Africa, for God's sake. Our politicians steal to spend money in their graves. What are you looking for? 10 politicians stole 761 billion. 10 politicians. Dave Umahi, as alleged by EFCC, Akpabio, Yahya Bello, Bello Matawale, the former EFCC guy, Jibrin Isa from Kogi State. 761 billion combined. Oji Uzokalu, Chimaroke Inamani. All these guys, combined total of 761 billion. That would have done well for Nigerian schools for these kids. Let us don't take this line down anymore. Let's speak up until we make corruption unattractive. These guys will continue to steal from us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video. We need to make sure more people are sensitized. Look at what our politicians have turned our secondary schools in. They've destroyed our schools and they've stolen the money and they've underpaid our teachers. So it's time to start speaking up for our teachers because they are the educators. They're the ones that trained us so that we can be who we are today. So we have to speak up for them so they can be looked after as well. Again, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, please do so. As always, I will catch you up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.